If you've ever opened a virus on your PC, then you know what's coming next. It's the fellas.
Yeah, I think that one went on a bit too long. That's my bad. I was waiting for a drop. I should have listened to that a bit more before we decided to use that. You get the spooky music and then some shit. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, some kind of drop, but you know what? We don't deserve one. We don't.
Yeah,
need
that is true. We don't. I will go with the first part you said. We don't deserve a drop because we were supposed to release this in Halloween, but what can I say? Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Well, then again, this movie didn't come out during Halloween anyway. So
did it not?
No. It
oh man, I'm so fucked up. I don't even know where I am anymore. When did this movie come out?
November 19th.
Huh. All right, so I guess we're not too far behind schedule. I guess I don't know. Anyway, hey guys, you're listening to the fellas. As always, it's Antoine and Ray. Today we watched, it was a long time coming. I dragged my ass back to a movie theater to watch Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yep.
Was I disappointed? Well, we'll find out by the end of the review.
Well, yeah, we'll find out.
I mean, I'm wondering, should I go over the controversy associated with this, or should we just go right into talking about the actors?
Let's just go with the controversy, man. There's not really much to talk about.
All right,
these actors.
So hopefully a lot of people know about this. If not, just go to YouTube and type in, Ghostbusters controversy, because it's a shit show. It's really long, but to put it mildly, we'll put it like this. Some chick named Amy Pascal over at Sony. Movie properties, what they do is when they have an intellectual property, you're not going to do something new. What they typically do is find some script they feel is not going to work. And they say, yeah, we'll just attach it to this intellectual property and put Ghostbusters at the top of it, and we'll run with that.
Just to keep the property going.
Not so much just to keep the property going, but you have a movie that seems like it has potential, but you know damn well there's nothing that'll pull people in to see it. So you say, hey, I'm going to attach this IP to it. It'll go from there. Sometimes this works. Sometimes it doesn't. A good example of it working, Joker.
Okay.
Yeah, there was no one who came up and said, hey, let's make a movie about the Joker, and this is what it'll be like. No, someone came up with a movie that it was almost like a remake of a movie called The Comedian. It was pretty much the same kind of premise, and Warner Brothers was like, yeah, I mean, it sounds like a good movie, but honestly, I can't see people coming to the theater to watch this shit. There's no sort of hook that'll pull people out. Oh, you know what? Let's call it Joker and say that this comedian is the Joker.
Okay.
You know what? Okay. I mean, it won't cost much to make the movie. Let's see how that works. And it fucking blew up. It didn't blow up because it was the Joker. It was genuinely
a great movie.
Good. It was a good movie. It was a good story. It was a good movie. It's something that could connect to people. But if I'm being completely honest, I never would have went to the fucking theater to see that.
If it was called The Comedian, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Well, I mean,
it's called The Joker, and that got me in there.
Yeah.
And once I watched it, yeah, it was a Joker in name only, but the movie was genuinely good. And that's the value of having an IP. That's where the real value of an IP comes from. Because we have fans that we can just get them in the theater. It's not to get them to like the movie. It's to get them into the theater. However, if they come in there and they don't like the movie, you pretty much just shot that IP in the dick.
Yes.
Because its value is now gone.
Well, that's what pretty much happened with this last Ghostbusters movie.
Oh, you're talking about the 2016 one?
The 2016 one, yeah.
Okay, that was the one before the last. Yeah, the 26... But here's the rub. The 2016 one, what they actually wanted to do was reboot the entire Ghostbusters universe to change it into a wacky female empowerment thing. And the fucked up thing was, if the Ghostbusters IP had been worth a bit more, I'm fairly sure the board of directors would have had none of this nonsense.
No, it was...
I mean, because Amy Pascal, her whole thing was to use that IP to promote a movement. And for some, I don't know why they fucking keep doing this. I don't know why they keep fucking doing this.
They need to stop.
But certain executive... Okay, fuck it, let's be honest. Women in a position of power get this idea that, hey, I'm a woman and I like feeling good about myself. So you know what'll make a bunch of money is movies that make people feel good about themselves, instead of saying, hey, movies that will entertain an audience. No. I'm going to make a movie that makes women feel good about themselves. And then they choose an IP where 98% of the audience is male. So no one fucking comes.
I mean, first of all, you're just cutting your demographic in half.
No, you're doing more than cutting it in half. When you choose, and if I wanted to make a remake of The Bridges of Madison County and make it a female power jack-off fantasy, I'm sure women would love it.
Okay.
But if I'm gonna go and take Conan the Barbarian and make it all about some chick who comes in and beats up Conan, and the movie follows her doing ridiculously unrealistic shit for 2 hours, that's going to be a problem. Or if I take the Terminator and kill off every man and make it just about 3 chicks running around beating up men and Terminators and shit.
I got a better one. How about we take a nice, great, wholesome brand like Golden Girls,
okay,
and we make them trans men that work at a strip joint called Golden Girls.
I would watch that. And here's the worst part. You've never worked in the movie industry in your life.
Okay.
To my knowledge.
Okay.
And you just came up with an idea that I would rather watch than Ghostbusters 2016. And this is just on paper.
Okay.
This is before I read the script or saw trailers. This is just on paper. Hey, why don't, instead of making a Ghostbusters sequel, we make one with a cast of nothing but women who are generally not funny, and we're going to shit on every man that we find.
And have pussy jokes.
Yes, and I would say, well, to be honest with you, I don't think I want to see that. That does not sound like something I would appreciate spending my money on. Okay. What if we reboot the Golden Girls?
Okay.
With a bunch of elderly trans men who identify as women working at a strip club. I'm like,
that actually sounds like a fucking good movie.
That is the most lunatic thing I've ever heard. And I will be there opening night. Thank you. I'll go see it. I'm not saying I'll like it, but you did your job. You got me in the door.
Well, they got you in the door, but the thing is, it has nothing to do with the old Golden Girls, but it has that same vibe.
But remember what we just talked about.
Yes.
The IP is just to get you to come to see the movie, not to get you to like it. So I got a script about some dudes working in a strip club. Okay, check it. We'll make them trans, so they identify as women.
Yep.
Call the strip club Golden Girls. We'll call the movie Golden Girls. So anyone who's fans of Golden Girls, will come see it. They may not like it, but we got them in the door.
So if Hollywood actually uses this idea, come find us and give us some royalty check, please.
Now, where this plan shoots itself in the dick is when you say, hey, even better idea. We're going to have the actors, we're going to have them tweet and do interviews and go on talk shows, and the entire time we will say how anyone who likes Golden Girls in the past is an absolute piece of shit.
Okay.
So we're going to use this IP of Golden Girls for the sole purpose of getting people who like Golden Girls in to see this movie. But before we do that, before the movie releases, we're going to say, by the way, anyone who does like Golden Girls, who would want to see a Golden Girls reboot, you guys are pieces of fucking shit, and I hope you all fucking die.
Very true.
And then, when the movie doesn't make money, we're going to say they were all racist.
Okay.
Nothing to do with me saying, fuck you, don't watch the movie. It's because you're all racist.
Yeah, or
this
homophobic.
Is how you...
Or transphobic, or whatever.
Whatever. Either way, we can all agree, all you guys are complete fucking pieces of shit. Tickets go on sale, $8.
And then the director goes online and starts talking so much shit to all the fans of Golden Girls.
Yeah.
And,
well, see, now we're just muddying the waters.
Yeah,
but you get the point. So this chick was like, we're going to put out this movie. We're going to completely redo it. And because she is rah, girl power, she hates anything that is male-centric. Anything that's... I used to have a saying that the overwhelming majority of women, or the average woman, doesn't like to see a man happy. Because if he's happy, she'll sit there and say, what the fuck's he got to be happy about? He's clearly doing something wrong.
Okay.
He's up to some shit. And this chick just fucking hated anything that in any way was a male bonding thing. And Ghostbusters...
It was a male bonding thing.
It was a male bonding thing because it was a movie about some underdogs trying to start their own business. And in the process, they're doing things, knee slapping, back of the head slapping. This is a colloquialism. The sort of back of the head slapping that guys would get. That guys would bond.
Yes.
over.
Locker room talk.
Locker room talk. The guys would bond over. And that's why guys were like, yo, I fucking love this movie.
Yeah,
it's
I love
fucking
this
great.
movie.
And she was like, fuck that noise. So I'm going to take this intellectual property, but I don't just want to redo the old property. I want to fucking kill it. So they went out of their way. There was some internal politics.
Yep.
The original director of Ghostbusters, who would not let them make a new one unless he signed off on it, he eventually signed off on it because, was it Harold Ramis?
Harold Ramis died,
Because
yeah.
Harold Ramis died, and it kind of broke his heart, and he was like, you know what? I'm fucking done. Just fucking do what you want with it. So they took it, and they proceeded to take that movie and fuck it in the mouth until it became gay.
Yeah.
And then you have Ghostbusters 2016.
Yep.
You know, the original being about 4 guys, you know, starting up their own business, and they decided to make a movie about 3 lesbians and a gorilla walking around just talking about inane shit. It genuinely felt like me walking down the street next to like 3 or 4 broads just talking about nonsense.
It felt aimless.
The only problem is I couldn't look at them and be like, will you yappy broad just shut the fuck up? Shut up.
There was one funny moment in the movie, and it didn't come from any of them. It came from a cop that was a male that says, are you talking about Ghost? It actually made me laugh because the way it was delivered was actually funny. That one joke.
The whole thing was painful.
I don't know how you could get through filming this shit thinking it's good.
Well, here's the thing. They didn't. If you ever watch Midnight's Edge, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes shit with how the dumpy fat chick with the glasses.
Melissa McCarthy?
How Melissa McCarthy, she really wanted to get in on it because she loved the real Ghostbusters
And then she wanted to get out of it.
And then, like, as soon as production started and she saw how it was going, she spent the whole time in her trailer crying, speaking with her agent, finding if there's any way she can get out of this.
Yeah, well, it's too late now.
Because she realized this is a fucking dumpster fire. Now, Grace Jones... No, not Grace Jones.
No,
What's
no.
that black chick?
I have no idea.
All right. I'm going to call her Monkey.
No, don't do that. Don't
What?
do that.
What?
Don't do that.
It's a cute nickname.
No, it's no, man.
Like a pet name.
No, don't do that, man.
All right, whatever. Look, either way, is like she'll do whatever she's told. She just wants the money. I thought it was just the Ghostbusters bad writing, and maybe she's a better actress. And then I saw Coming to America Part 2, and I said, oh wait, she can't act for shit. Okay, so there's that.
Well, you know, you had to swallow your vomit just a little bit as you see.
You talking about the Coming to America?
Yeah.
I think I saw a titty.
Leslie Jones, not Grace Jones. Very close last name.
I don't like that name. I can't remember that name. It's too complicated. I'm gonna call her Mojo Jojo. So Mojo Jojo, she's in the movie, and you know she's basically cooning it up, you know, and I like that sort of thing. But she wasn't fucking funny. And then the other 2 unnamed chicks, who the fuck knows? And basically, they tried to get chicks to be a carbon copy of who the male Ghostbusters were.
But unsuccessful.
It did not feel right because that's just who the actors were.
Yeah.
In the original one, they had passion. So, make a long story short, they realized, Amy Pascal realized, yo, this is a fucking train wreck. This is going to be fucking awful. It's everything I wanted. And even I know this is fucking awful.
Yeah.
So they started this thing where they started, what's the word? Controversy. They did everything they could to piss men off so that, you know, men on the internet would lash out and they could say, aha, if it goes bad, and I'm not saying it's going to go bad, but if it does go bad, this is exactly why.
Yeah.
And they would do everything they could to poke the bear. And then the movie comes out.
And it bombs.
Lo and behold, it bombed. Who would have guessed? It was so fucking bad that they tainted that IP to a point that Sony was like, this is now garbage.
And I know a lot of millennials that refuse to watch the new movie based off of that last movie that was released.
Yeah. The value of that IP was right next to the value of Pets.com stock.
Okay.
That's how valueless that IP became after what she did.
So now the credibility of all these reviewers online on Rotten Tomatoes are now trying to...
Ray, I'm going to stop you right there.
They're trying to
I'm going to stop you
to
right
be
there.
somewhat non-consistent.
Professional movie reviewers, like mainstream
reviewers. They get dicked in the ass and they have to be paid for the reviews?
They have no credibility because they're whores.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
They know it, and most people do know it. They want to go to the, the pre-release party and get the tickets in advance. And they know that if they come back and say this movie was a bucket of shit, then they're not going to get those sort of tickets or that sort of press anymore. So they're just doing what they're paid. We all know that. But that's neither here nor there. The value of the IP becoming dog shit, unlike popular belief, you'd be like, well, that's a bad thing. They destroy Ghostbusters. No, that's a good thing, because had the value of that IP not gone to dog shit, they wouldn't have given it to Reitman's son, Jason Reitman. Do what you want. We don't fucking care. Here's a shoestring budget. It doesn't matter. Nothing's gonna fucking
And what
happen.
he did with that shoestring budget was...
And it wasn't even difficult. And he made a new Ghostbusters that pretended the one before it didn't happen, and it took all the fucking money. It was just banging.
And you know what? It wasn't woke either.
No,
and
it wasn't.
And you know what? This movie is timeless. The reason why I say it's timeless is because there were no cell phones in this movie. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you were to watch it 20 years from today and not see a cell phone in their hands, then you can relate, because you would think that the technology they're using is today's technology.
Okay, that's a goofy thing to say, but all right, that's fine. They made up a premise saying, oh, there's no cell towers here, so we can't use cell phones. That's not why there were no cell phones.
But no, it's a great thing to keep technology out of their hands, from them texting and doing all this other stuff.
But that's not why they didn't put cell phones in. It's because no cell phone carrier would give them money.
Well, either or, it's better for it.
If there's a cell phone, you will see the screen, and you will see the little AT&T or T-Mobile or Verizon or whatever up there. And because no one was willing to give them money for the product placement, they said, fuck it, we're not going to give someone free product placement. I mean, it still would have had to ask, hey, AT&T, can we have your logo on the phone?
Well, okay.
Like, why the fuck would I ask you for me to give you free product placement?
But
fuck you.
To me, I felt that it would be better that they didn't, because how many movies do you watch these days where you see the fucking text message bubble running through the fucking movie?
That's just for that particular type of movie.
Yeah,
that's
I know. I just find that it just pulls you out from the brand.
I suppose, but we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
So that's the conundrum that happened with Ghostbusters. So now we have this new Ghostbusters Afterlife, which, attempts to fix all that. Now, what I want to do is go through first just a basic plot, and we'll also point out the characters while we go through the plot. Egon, who was originally played by Harold Ramis, who, he passed away, God bless his soul. He moves out to the middle of nowhere, and you see him going through, you don't know what's going on, but it's something really, really serious. They set up the atmosphere, and this is key, because this catches you
right off the bat.
Yeah, we'll go into this more, but it really catches you like, what the fuck's going on? Something is happening, and it pulls you in immediately, like, yo, I want to know what the fuck's going on. He's luring a ghost back to his farm. He has this trap set up to get the ghost. The trap fails, and the ghost ends up killing him, which I didn't think that was something the ghosts were able to do. I think there was a rule about that, but I don't know. I have to rewatch part 1. So his estranged daughter and her 2 kids, they get a notice in New York, hey, your dad's dead. Come up north to get his shit. So she's like, oh, okay, great, because, she's a single mom. She's got no money. Things are tough, so they all pile in the car, drive up there. Once they get up there, they see he's got the farm and pretty much nothing else. Now, the granddaughter, played by, what's this chick?
McKenna Grace.
No, that's not the girl, is it?
It's McKenna Grace.
That looks like a grown-ass woman. Okay, anyway, she's something of a genius, and she's an introvert. She just doesn't do stuff with people, and she's awkward and this and that. A lot like Egon. So clearly she's the representation for Egon in this. And by the way, I will also say best actor in the movie.
Yes.
She did a wonderful job. Her brother is played by, I believe, Fan Wolfhard. Weird name, but whatever.
Yeah, he's apparently the kid from Stranger Things.
Yeah, he plays as her brother, Trevor. If Phoebe is going to be a replacement for Egon, this guy is a replacement for Peter.
Yep.
He just wants to hang out
with the chicks.
He gets a job because of some hot mixed black chick. He wants to get up in there, so he's gonna get a job and of course lie on his application. And it's smart ass his way with regards to lying on the application. He did a very passable job, perfectly fine. Another surrogate is who ends up being Phoebe's best friend she meets in school, is some paranormal conspiracy theorist kid who has a podcast, and his name is
Podcast.
Podcast.
and I think was the best written character in the entire movie because he had the less time to come into the film to be established and then liked.
Yes. He, I think some of his lines could have been a bit better, but for what he was there for, clearly he was something of a comedy relief. But if there was ever going to be someone to replace Ray,
he did the job. He did a great job.
He was the replacement for Ray, and he did a great job. Great job replacing Ray. I mean, unlike 2016 Ghostbusters, they were doing it right. They weren't saying, hey, I'm Ray, I'm going to act like Ray. It was like, no, I'm just a kid. This is how I act. This is how I think. And you could be like,
the chemistry was all the same.
He's a lot like Ray. I like that kid. You know, so there they go, and they end up little by little, the granddaughter, Phoebe, starts discovering more and more things that shows her grandpa was the Ghostbuster. And they find his stuff, and hijinks ensue. Now, you got Paul Rudd. So he's a seismologist. His name is Gruberson, or maybe it's Mr. Gruberson.
Yeah.
He was a little bit stale in what he was doing, but at the end of the day, he was just a placeholder, so I won't hold that against him too much. He and Carrie Coon, that's a bad last name. Carrie Coon, who plays as the mom, they were both placeholders, but for what it's worth, they did a
pretty damn good job.
Passable job, yeah. Oh, and of course, I'm only going to mention, there's the black girl that Trevor's trying to bang. Her name is Lucky, is Celeste O'Connor, and I only bring that up because basically they're a version of Winston, not because she's black. Out of all of them, she's the realest.
Yes.
That's why she's more like a Winston. Also, she gets the least amount of screen time for a Ghostbuster. Also, it's also a Winston classic.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Winston, it's great that you're here. Black people, it's great. Now get your black ass back in the back, boy. So, you know, it's just... But hey,
he wasn't Eddie Murphy, though. He wasn't Eddie Murphy.
Ernie Hudson needs a check. Ernie Hudson was the first person to tell you, I need a fucking check.
Look, man, when I went to BotCon one year and he was there, they weren't even asking him about his voice acting on the animated series that they currently had. Asking him about how was it to be a Ghostbuster. So you're at a freaking Transformers panel and you're asking him Ghostbuster questions.
Hey, Ernie Hansen just wants to cash his fucking check.
Now, Ernie, I mean, everybody loves Ernie, man. Everybody loves
Leave the man alone. So now, just like with the first one, it starts off with small instances of paranormal. The Ghostbuster team kind of stumbles their way through it. And then once they see the final boss, which is way over their pay grade, they all come together to defeat the final boss with the original 3 cast members coming back. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson. They all come back. Also, a nice scene with Annie Potts. She shows up.
She looks amazing.
Who has aged very nicely. Good for her. She aged very nicely. I'm very happy with her.
You know, I rarely cry during movies. You know, you gotta man up sometimes. But people don't understand the bad blood that went behind the scenes with Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis to get Ghostbusters 3. And I remember back in the day when Spike TV was a thing. I mean, it's still around, but it wasn't like the thing. Remember?
It wasn't worth anything.
Yeah. You know, Spike, they carted out Bill Murray out in a Ghostbusters outfit. Yeah, Ghostbusters 3 was gonna be coming out soon, and this was like 2006, and the clock kept rolling on and nothing kept happening. Seeing one of these final scenes with spoilers, all 4 of them on screen, legitimately exactly how it is in real life, brought a tear to my eye.
Did you know, I'm sorry, this just caught my eye when I was on IMDb and I saw this chick's name, Annie Potts. Did you know she was in a movie with Mark Hamill called Corvette Summer? And if I look at the synopsis here, it says a high school grad and a hooker in training tried to track down his stolen Corvette.
Well, she looks cute there.
Well, she's young. And like I said, she did age nicely. But that's just interesting. I never knew that there was such a movie in existence. But you know.
A hooker in training?
Yeah.
So what does that make her, a slut?
That is a goddamn good question, Ray. I'm actually shocked that you would have a question that poignant. And I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm serious. That's a good fucking question. A slut is just a hooker in training.
I'm just saying, you know, because she's not making an exchange for cash at first. She's doing it for favors. I don't know. I'm just, they might track me down for slut shaming, so I don't know.
All right. So anyway, they do all get together in the end, and they banish the darkness. You know, they get rid of the other ghosts. Happy ending, roll credits, and of course you have the special scenes at the end, which I won't mention. Go watch the movie.
Yes, stay for the two.
Yeah, one right before the credits and one all the way at the end of the credits.
Yes.
You gotta stay. You gotta work. You gotta earn it. You have to earn it. You gotta stay to the end of the credits. It's very good. Let's break this thing down. Now, I had some stuff I wanted to point out, but you want to start by asking me what my favorite scene is?
Yeah, because, I mean, if we go toe for what happens down the road, it'll give away too much, because this is slow build. For a movie not to give away where that is very predictable, because going in, it felt like Goonies. Like if Goonies meets Ghostbusters, and it's like, this is awesome.
It's a tried and true formula, but yes.
Yeah, so it's very much of a fun kids movie, bringing in that new generation in, at the same time bringing the old folks, and then if they make a sequel with them, cool. If they don't make a sequel with them, cool as well, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay, because I was going to save this for a bit later, but just because you brought that up, I'm going to go into this right now. One of the biggest complaints that there was too much fan service, and I'm not talking about anime fan service where you see titties. I mean, too much nostalgia put in there. It was, if I'm going to be honest, this was like a nostalgia bukkake.
Yeah,
Everything from part one
Yep.
that was iconic,
Yes.
they threw in there.
Yeah, even some of those YouTube ads, which they made it live. You saw some of the old footage.
Well, not just that. I'm like, Stay Puft was back.
Yeah.
And, the overall, but we did say spoilers, right?
Yeah, we just said spoilers.
The enemy they're fighting is Gozer, the Gozerian. So Gozer's back, the androgynous looking chick.
It does feel a little bit.
The two dogs that are guarded, the Keymaster
And the Gatekeeper.
The Gatekeeper, which that's one of my only complaints.
It did feel like Star Wars Episode 7 Disney-esque soft reboot.
But not in a complete way. I mean, I'm going to go over a lot of things I would have changed, even though I liked it. But the biggest complaint was like, they just put too much nostalgic shit in there, too much iconic shit. It was like all they were doing was just choking it with nostalgia to cater to the fans.
Yeah.
A lot of reviewers, even my favorite reviewers of all time, Red Letter Media, half in the bag. Even they were like, it was fucking too much. It made the movie not good. And I was like, they fucking, after what happened to this IP, you had to stuff it full of this shit.
Yeah.
To let people understand, hey, this is what we're doing. We know what you want. Look at all this. Look, remember Stay Puft? Yeah. Remember Gozer? Remember the Ecto-1? Remember all this shit? They had to stuff it full of that shit to get you back. And when you're making, here's the thing. When you're making a sequel off of a fan favorite, which has not been in theaters for any more than, I'll usually
2 decades.
Yeah, if it hasn't been in theaters in more than 20 years, the first one, you have to, not should, you have to stuff it full of nostalgia, because that's what's going to bring back. Remember, the original people who watched it are adults now.
Yep.
They have kids.
Yep.
They have other people who are special to them. They're going to go watch the movie. You're going to pull your kids, your little crumb crunchers. They're not going to want to go see this shit. You're going to make them go see it. Why? Because of the nostalgia it has where you remember how you felt.
Yep.
So you want them, you're going to force them to watch it, because god damn it, you're going to feel like I felt. You're going to fucking like it. So sit your ass down and shut the fuck up. Sit down.
And then those same kids are going to force you to buy them fucking Ghostbuster toys, and you're going to happily dish out the cash.
Well, the kids may not do that, because you're going to buy those fucking toys yourself.
Yes, that's true.
I already put in my order some Afterlife shit. You got your proton pack.
Yeah.
You got your PKE meter, all that shit.
It's all $3.99, by the way. Get it has labs before December 12th. This is not an ad. We were not paid for this.
There you go. We should be. But no, the whole thing is when you bring your kids in, you force your kids in to go see that, and your kids are like, okay, this is all right, but my dad is hyping it up so much that I like it more.
Yeah.
Because he's forcing me to, isn't this awesome? Isn't this awesome? Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess it is awesome. Okay. Once that's done, the very next Ghostbuster, the one that comes after Afterlife, you don't need any of the nostalgia.
Yeah.
Because it's no longer, at that point, from a movie studio perspective, it's no longer for you.
Yeah.
It's for your kids now.
Yeah.
That last one was to get your ass into the theater, because you were going to pull other people in. You're going to pull your kids in. And now that I got your kids, now we make a totally new one with all sorts of new shit that those kids can be tied to. You are never going to stop loving Egon, Ray, Winston. You're never going to stop loving them.
They're on the Hall of Fame of Ghostbusters, even though they're only 4.
When you have the next movie that doesn't have them at all, you may be like, man, I miss Egon. I miss Winston and Peter and Ray. And your kids are going to be like, man, shut your old ass up. This non-binary, transgender, polyamorous chick, what's her name? That's where it's at. She's awesome. Because now that the kids are into it, you can do some original shit that caters to what they're into in that day and age.
I don't want to come up with a storyline that may step on the toes on a couple of people because it's based off of a real incident. But how about this for a next script?
Let's hear it.
A rapper is being tormented by a group of ghosts that died at a concert.
That were trampled?
And specifically, quote unquote, trampled. I guess you could say that.
Right.
All right. And this artist seeks the assistance of the Ghostbusters, and thus
to kill a second time.
Yes.
To kill the people that were killed at his concert.
I don't want to. I don't want to laugh.
But you're laughing right now. What do you find funny about this shit?
It's fucked up.
And you find fucked up things funny?
No.
You find it funny these people were trampled at a fucking concert when he was singing? You know, at that concert, when the people were being trampled, there were people who came up to the stage begging him, hey, stop the music, people are dying. He told his security to pick them up and throw them off the fucking stage, back into the people who were being trampled.
Shit.
So the people who tried to plead for him to stop with his dancing and stop incentivizing the riot with his music, they pleaded with him, Ray. They begged him to please stop. People are dying. And he was like, get the fuck off my stage, cracker. And he threw him back out there. You find that funny, Ray? Does that tickle your insides? Or like tickle your nutsack? Make you giggle like a little leprechaun?
I'm just saying that his publicist might like this storyline to be able to smooth things over.
His publicist would like a story about how he sat there and played a concert that resulted in the death of like 5 fucking people. And then when it was over, his publicist, not even him, his publicist sent an apology letter, which was basically, yeah, it's fucked up that happened. I hope y'all take care. As he got on his fucking plane and left.
I'm sorry if it was insensitive. I really am.
Yeah, you hold in that laughter a bit better than that. You're a real piece of shit, man. You're fucking laughing about it.
I'm not laughing.
Fucking laughing.
I just thought that it was an irony based off of a story.
You know, learn to read a fucking room, Ray.
Okay,
that was uncalled for. You need to read the room.
Okay.
Fucking bodies are still warm. The bodies are still fucking warm, Ray.
Look.
You're sitting here talking about, wouldn't it be great if they were still alive in some sort of a corporeal form so they can be zapped and put right back in fucking cages again. Fucking disgusting, this guy. Fucking disgusting. Anyway, what was I talking about before you brought up all those people that died in that tragic accident?
Look, I'm just saying it would have been a decent storyline, and, you know, that was it. I'm just trying to create something out of real life, thrown right back into a science fiction.
Man, if you were a movie executive, you'd be so fucking canceled. I mean, they could try to cancel us, but it wouldn't work because we don't give a shit. It's like, you know, I'm gonna make sure no one ever listens to your show again. I'm like, what, all 5 of them? What the fuck you talking about?
Our podcast got the same amount of listeners that podcast got.
Yeah.
I mean, all our listeners came from China until they fucking brought down the wall.
Yeah, I think that's my fault. We lost a lot of our Chinese listeners. Yeah. I mentioned that there was this Chinese politician who abused me sexually. And after that, it's like everything just went dead. It was like radio silence. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But I sent the letter saying, I'm fine. No one abused me. Everything is okay. But still, our Chinese listeners didn't.
Our Indian listeners that are trying to learn English are still going to stick with us.
I taught that Indian guy to say, fuck your mama, you know?
And he really didn't. He didn't want to say the word fuck. We spent so much time with him. Oh man, you guys got to listen to our
live shit.
Our live feed.
Our live shit goes off the chain sometimes. Goes off the wall. But sorry, let me pull it back a little bit. So I said, when you have something that someone hasn't seen in over 2 decades, you have to pump it full of nostalgia to bring the original people back And then after they've come back, okay, we're now starting over again in year 1.
Yeah.
Now you can make new
stuff.
more creative stuff.
Yeah.
Now, an example how the exact opposite, it goes wrong. Hey, man, someone told me this. Yeah, but what about Star Wars The Force Awakens? All that was, because this was essentially...
doing the same thing.
This Ghostbusters was essentially, a remake of the first one.
Yeah.
Because it was the same thing.
Yeah.
Them stumbling into how to do this. You fight the Gazarian. It's all the same shit over.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, Force Awakens basically did the same thing. Why didn't that work? I said, well, even if I discount all the SJW feminist horse shit that they choked into that movie, even if I factor that out, number one, Star Wars is not something that hasn't been around for 2 decades. There's not been 1 month that goes by where you're not going to either have a Star Wars comic, a Star Wars cartoon,
or book,
Star Wars book, Star Wars video games, the fucking, the last Star Wars movie before Force Awakens was only 7 years prior. It was the Return of the Sith or whatever.
You had decades of content.
You've tons of fucking... No one has forgot what the fuck Star Wars is. So when you come out and it's like, hey guys, here's episode 4 all over again. It's like, motherfucker, I just saw episode 3, which is really episode 6, a couple years ago. Why the fuck you giving me what's essentially episode 4 all over again?
And not only that, it's like, people are smart. They're reading the fucking timeline. It's like, okay, shouldn't Luke be like an older guy, tempted to go towards the dark side and have all this other shit? Well,
see, that's not... that is part of the problem, but I think you're interpreting it wrong. Remember how I said, and when you bring it back, you chuck it full of nostalgia so you can get the kids in. And they redid episode 4, which was wrong. And then on top of that, they took all the nostalgia, put it in there, and fucking killed it.
Yeah, they did kill it.
And I'm like, yo, why did you do that? Why did you kill that off? Because I don't want them. I want their kids to be in it. I'm like, yeah, but these kids never saw this shit before. Yeah, which is why I'm killing it. It's like, you didn't have to kill it. Just show them some new shit. All you did was alienate all the fucking people that showed up because you're using this IP.
Yep.
The whole point, if I were in a film class, or not film, business.
Okay.
If I were in a film business class, what I would stress over and over and over and over, at least once a week, the sole purpose of an IP is to get people in the theater. The IP won't make your movie good.
Yeah.
The IP won't guarantee that they'll like the movie. All the IP does is get them in the fucking theater. You know how many fucking Marvel movies I did not want to fucking see?
Yeah, quite a few,
I
actually
went to see them because I was part of the fucking expanded universe. There's this one Marvel movie I'm excited about, and all this shit's gonna have something to do with it, so I have to go and look at this shit. Just like when I used to fucking collect comic books. When there's, a big world-changing arc, it's gonna involve all
They did that once
books.
too many times, man.
And whenever that happened, you know what I would do is I'm holding the book. Fuck! Because now I gotta buy all this shit.
Yeah, you gotta
I gotta buy books I don't even fucking care about, because they're all in this fucking arc.
Until it starts being bad. Look, Marvel had that check to spend that with every single person until they started doing that woke shit, and they started with the Captain Marvel thing.
Yeah, when they turn her into a dude, basically.
Yeah, they were batting 1,000, and then now they're not even batting 1,000 no more.
Fucked up. 'Cause I used to like Ms. Marvel, not Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
I used to actually like Ms. Marvel, but I digress.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point of IPs, and with Ghostbuster, it did its fucking job.
Yep.
It got people in. It force-fed them nostalgia. And every single person who was a fan of the original Ghostbusters, I would bet money, every person came out there happy as shit.
I was ecstatic.
I was like, yo, that's dope.
I was crying because...
Hey, let's stop by the model shop. I want to get Nectar 1 real quick.
Yeah. I was crying only because of, seeing them 4 back again on screen, even though, 3 of them were alive.
I mean, I love the pacing of it.
Yeah.
The pacing was good. There's a few things I would have tweaked.
Yeah.
Not too much.
The Ivor Shandor explanation a little bit more.
Well,
learn more about him a little bit.
Here's something I would have tweaked. What I did not like. And we've already said spoilers, guys. We're going to spoil the shit out of this. Freaking Ray Stans, Egon's granddaughter, Penelope. She's in jail. She's like, I get one phone call. All right, fine. She calls Ray up at his bookshop. He basically diarrheas all over the phone talking about what happened. This is the exposition.
Yeah.
Because you want to know, what the fuck happened? Was it Ghostbusters and that? And he says how, okay, things are going good, but money got tight. And then out of nowhere, Egon starts talking about, hey, it's the end of the world. We got to stop this ghost or whatever. But we were like, look, man, we got to keep the business afloat. We don't have time to listen to this. So Egon took all of their shit, threw it into the fucking Ecto-1 and left. And when he did that, he pretty much fucked their business. Yeah, they had to disband. Everything had to shut down. And on the surface, I'm like, that makes no fucking sense. If any one of the Ghostbusters were to say, hey, there's something about to happen that could end the world. Yeah. Every one of them would stop and hear what he has to say. They've stopped it from happening twice.
Yeah, twice.
Something that could destroy the world has happened twice. Already, which they stopped. Why would they not listen to Egon? Yeah. Saying that. So it doesn't make sense. He's like, oh, we couldn't listen to Egon or whatever. What I would have done. Okay, I'm putting on my suit jacket. I'm an executive right now. Okay. I'm an executive at Sony. Here's what would have happened. Okay, they're high off of their success from defeating Vigo. Yeah. Vigo. Swatting of flies, you know. When that happened, because of that, New York City decided we cannot let something like this happen again. You guys are on our payroll. But being on their payroll meant a shitload of bureaucracy and a lot of levels of managing a business that they weren't ready for. Yeah. You know, they were like, OSHA Peter, shit. Yeah, OSHA shit, stuff like that. Peter Venkman had a stroke, and because he had a stroke or a heart attack or something, they all demanded, we love you like a brother, and that's why we're saying this, you're off the team. We don't want to lose you. Yeah. And Peter Venkman was so upset that they were like, look, stay on and keep doing all the city shit and the paper shit and all the, dealing with OSHA and all that type of shit. He was able to do that because he did the politics. He was the PR guy. Yeah. He was so upset, said, fuck you guys. And he left. And he was like, to this day, Peter still doesn't speak to me. He said I betrayed him by us saying he needs to get off the team. Yeah. Between the three of us, keeping ahead of all the policies and this and that. Plus, we were losing lots of money because there were no ghosts, and the city was talking about maybe shutting it down, going back on the deal. I had to appeal to the city, but me and Egon aren't really good at that. And then to make matters worse, me and Egon, when we went to have our official thing with the city, Egon had, in quotations, an episode. Something happened. Okay. He went off the handle. His eyes rolled into the back of his head. He started talking about end times and started saying stuff that didn't make any sense. We had to rush him to the hospital. That basically shit on our reputation because they're like, these people are fucking insane. Yeah. So between me and Winston trying to salvage what's left of the business, Egon was just losing it. We actually had plans to have him checked into an institution. I love him like a brother. Yeah. He's my best friend, but I couldn't help him because I had to choose between him and the business. Everything was falling around me. What was I supposed to do? So me and Winston made a plan to check him into institution because all he would do was ramble about the world coming to an end. His wife couldn't get through to him, and she's with child. She just got pregnant. Everything was collapsing around us. So we were going to have him placed in a mental facility until we could stabilize things here, and then we go back to him. The very next day, when we were going to go and confront him, he grabs all the shit and leaves. Very next day, we show up. Fucking car's gone. Some of the proton packs are gone. Every ghost trap we had was gone. He fucking cleaned us out. He took all of our shit and left.
That makes a little bit more sense.
And she'd be like, and what? Because of that, you never spoke to him again? You hated him because of that? I don't know where the fuck he is. I have no idea. We never put like a tracker on the car. It didn't seem like something that was necessary. Yeah. If he doesn't call me, I have no way of knowing where he is. His wife hasn't heard from him since. He has a wife and a kid. No one knows where he is. He just lost his mind and left and fucking disappeared.
That would explain. But that would make
that's why they never spoke with Egon, because Egon disappeared and never told him where they were going. Yeah. Because he went nuts. They haven't spoken to Peter because Peter refuses to talk with him because he feels like they fucking betrayed him. Yeah. And it basically crumbled from within. And the wife is like, yeah, my daughter never grew up knowing her dad because he just fucking took off. But, in the movie, when she goes goes into his little office, she sees all these clippings.
Yeah.
It's like he was actually keeping track of me while I was doing stuff. And what I would have had them do, anyone who mentioned Egon when they were in the town,
Yeah.
if they say, oh yeah, my dad's Egon, they would, oh, you mean the dirt farmer?
Yeah.
I would have had each of them say some sort of a crazy story of something. Yeah, he came into town once covered in cow guts. And I said, what the hell is going on? And he said something about warding off phase 5 eco something or other. I don't know what the hell he was talking about. We tried to get him to calm down. I would have someone would be like, yeah, one day he ran through the city with no pants on and he wrote some weird symbols in his own shit on the side of the library. The sheriff was going to bust him for it, but instead we just took him home. You know, we just kind of felt sorry for him. Every time someone would say a story, I would make the grandkids get more and more embarrassed to say that he was their grandpa. So it would seem like, so you get the idea, Egon had just completely lost it. He never talked to anyone in town. He was just, there was no trace of our Egon in there. He was gone. But then the girl goes below the barn and guess what she finds? All the clippings of her growing up. Egon was still in there somewhere, trying to keep track of his little girl, trying to keep track of all the stuff he missed. Deep down in there, Egon was still there, even though he had gone crazy because of this premonition he had. Yeah. It drove him nuts, but there was still enough of him there because he loved his daughter. He loved this little girl.
That would be kind of
That
nice.
would be much, much better instead of Egon was like, hey guys, there's a serious ghost here. Come on, Egon. We don't want to hear about some ghost. We're busy. Like, you're the fucking Ghostbusters. You saved the world twice from ghosts. It just doesn't seem believable. Yeah. And they won't talk to him about this threat to the point where he just takes all their shit and leaves. It doesn't make sense. I would say he went crazy. Yeah. He went crazy and he took their shit and left. And I love, all the stuff he had set up. I'd say, even though he's crazy, I would still say, he was building proton packs. Because you see, he had those proton packs set up inside to stop the fucking guy from coming in.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
That was fucking great. But you know what I just realized? I didn't tell you. You were asking me what was nitpicking about it to me. What was nitpicking to you? Was there something in the movie you didn't like?
No, I liked a lot of mostly everything. I just felt like I didn't get enough time with the kids as much as I wanted to.
Okay,
because once it hit the proper gear, that's maybe like 30 minutes into the movie. It kept speeding up, and it was a really good ride all the way through the end. The one thing I kind of was hoping to have, this may sound cheesy, is something like how the old Ghostbusters had their modern music that was paired with the movie itself. So I just kind of miss not having that. But even though these aren't typically the branded Ghostbusters, I was fine with it.
Okay. I can go with that.
You know how like Ghostbusters 2 had, Bobby Brown, and they had that rap feel. Even though they're not in the city, it really wouldn't make any sense. But I was just kind of missing some of that Dougie Fresh.
I will have to say what's easily the best part of the movie is once they were in the car, chasing the ghosts. Yeah,
that was the best.
They were doing all the ghosts. I was like, they're back. Give them the uniforms. This is new Ghostbusters. I was like, there's only 3 of them. We need one more. And then, of course, you got the black chick. And I was like, there you go.
There you go.
I was like, I will watch a movie right now. Ghostbusters Part 4. Ray is mentoring these kids. Ray is teaching these kids how to catch ghosts. Like, there'll be like a shitty ghost. Like, their first ghost was a shitty ghost. It ate metal and shit. Yeah. And they tore up half the city trying to get it. And while they're fighting the ghost, I'd have Ray just standing there, leaning against the wall, eating an apple. Oh, look at it. It's getting away. And the ghosts would be wreaking havoc, like they nearly die, like twice. And Ray will be like, yeah, you might want to aim that thing to the left, in case it goes around to the left and gets behind you. She'd be yelling, I got this! And the ghost goes around the left and gets behind her, like slimes the shit out of her and picks her up and throws her like out the window or something. And Ray's just sitting there eating his apple, crunch. Told you. And he's just sitting there like, yeah, I've been through all this shit. And then let's say at the end, they all fuck up. And the ghost shoots out the window. And now the ghost is about to leave. And you see the proton beam go through the window and catch him and start pulling them back. You see Ray with one hand holding the proton gun. It's like, yeah, get the trap out. Because the other hand has the apple. So he's like, yeah, get the trap out. It's like, you guys got a lot to learn, and I'm going to show you guys that would be fucking awesome. And it would just like, you know, and it'll get to the point where something happens, and Ray is constantly like, you guys aren't ready, you guys aren't ready, you guys aren't ready. Something happens that takes Ray out, maybe he gets captured or something, and they step up and save the day them fucking selves. And when they come out, it's like, well, guys, you did it. There's only one thing left to do. What's that? We get a strut. And they all start doing the walk, wearing their Ghostbuster outfits, walking down the street, and someone plays some music. Dun, 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 and they're just walking. That would be fucking awesome. You would have none of the original Ghostbusters, nothing but the new team.
Yeah, new team, yeah.
And I would fucking eat that shit up. That would be fucking great.
Yeah.
But you can do that now.
Yeah, now you can do that.
Because you gave yourself this as the foundation, and now you can do that. But I can abso-fucking-lutely see these 4 kids as the new Ghostbusters. A brother, sister, her best friend, who's some sort of a weirdo, and the black girl who's the love interest of the guy.
Yeah.
You've got all the diversity.
Yep.
You've got 50-50 sexual ratio. You've got everything you can need. It's good to go.
Yeah, and then...
fucking let it go.
And I guess everybody's just complaining that, you know, Phoebe couldn't beat the Gozer by herself.
She shouldn't have. Well, I will say...
And I was kind of shocked. I was like, oh no, she's going to beat her by herself. And that's what I was thinking.
And I was glad.
And I was like, I was glad, okay, there's no way she's holding the stream. She's like, what, 12 years old, and she's holding the fucking stream like this?
Exactly.
And I was like, when I saw Egon, I'm like, yo, that is fucking... Yes, I did.
I teared up.
I was like,
I'm
that
man enough
is
to say I
fucking
teared
dope.
up. His ghost came back to help her, because his ghost was there the whole time. I maybe would have changed one thing. When she was firing the thing, instead of showing the whole ghost, you see her hand, and I would have had his hand come over her hand. So her hand is like in his.
Yeah.
And you see his other hand go on there to show us steadying it. And it's like, oh, his ghost you never saw him.
Yeah.
But his ghost is there, you know? And I would have had the other Ghostbusters, when they're shooting, they would turn to the left and they get this look on their face like, what the fuck? You know, fucking Egon's back. You know, the team is back together.
Yeah, but you had to get it on camera, though.
Yeah, I get that. One other thing I would have did, which would have been sad.
Yeah.
You know, what I would have done is when they hit the trap to suck
Egon would have been sucked in there. Yeah, because it didn't make any sense to me that he was a
he
ghost.
Was there,
yeah,
and he didn't get sucked into the trap.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was like, he's getting sucked into the trap that he's gonna
and the
literally
thing is, you get sucked into the trap. If
that's
2 ghosts go in there, that's it.
Yeah,
they're now one completely different ghost. So Egon is gone.
Yeah,
you can never get Egon.
That's
back
that's one of the things that I was like, that doesn't make any sense, because he's still a class 1
Spectre.
A Spectre.
Yeah.
So he should be going in there too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
by the way, they explain that in the cartoon, kids.
Yeah.
If 2 ghosts get sucked into a trap, they become a new ghost. You can't split them up. That ghost that was there is gone.
When the containment unit is opened up, they get all these new different variety of ghosts that they have to take down. All right, let's rate this thing.
So, you know what? There's so much more I want to say about this, but you know what? Let's go ahead and review it. Now, I'm going to go first. In all honesty, walking in there, watching it, walking out, easy full price.
Yeah.
But for something made by someone who's passionate, not just about the movie, but about my faith in the movie, they're passionate about how I love the movie, which was, you know, Ivan Reitman, he was the original director, and his son, Jason Reitman, came in, and everything from start to finish, from top to bottom, everything about this movie was an apology letter to the fans. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And it was good, and honestly, people should be rewarded for that. For that reason, I think this would go from full price to I Want It Inside Me.
Okay.
Because I do. It's great.
Well, I'm going to give this a high full price.
Okay.
I teared up. It almost lands in that category. I could watch it every time it's on. Only because there's probably things they nudged in the background that I wasn't paying attention to.
I'll watch it every time it's on just for the Ecto-1 scenes.
Anytime the Ecto-1 is on, that was a true star there. Mm-hmm. The Ecto-1 was a fucking character in itself. But I'm sure there's subtleties in this film. Like all the book stacking, homage to the first movie.
Oh, yeah.
Book stacking straight all the way up.
Plenty of fan service, yep.
So, yeah, I'm going to give this a high full price. So this is a low, I Want It Inside Me.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. A low, I Want It Inside Me. Very fair, Ray. Very fair. Before we go, though, I would like to go to Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is like the gag reel of every fucking episode of this.
Yes.
Because at first, it was just completely shit on. Hold on here. Because at first,
Jesus, what the fuck?
What?
The rating is so skewed.
It's not as badly skewed as we've seen in a lot of ways. Because the audience score of 6,000 plus people is a 95%, and the critic score is 63%. Now,
dragging its feet. They're fucking dragging.
To be fair, I remember when it came out, the critic score was like 20%.
Yeah.
Okay? We all knew why that was. But as time went on, I think as more of the lesser known critics got in, and also some critics actually gave a shit about their credibility, because remember, you can shit on this movie because, you know, it's not woke enough. It's not like the 2016. But remember, this is still a movie by fucking Sony. At the end of the day, you're still shitting on a Sony movie. You're shitting on their IP. Okay? They want to make money. You know, they would like it for it to be this woke shit. Well, no, the director of the woke shit would like for it to be woke shit. The stockholders want to make fucking money. And I think because of that, a lot of people came around and they changed their rating. So now 63% tomato, 95% audience score. But I want you to hear one of these negative reviews from a professional, I use that in quotes, professional movie reviewer.
Oh my God.
From something called The Movie Cricket. I don't know if that's a site or something. Actually, let me see here. I don't know if that's a newspaper or... Yeah, I don't fucking know. It's just called The Movie Cricket. And this guy's name is Sean P. Means. And this summarizes the Hollywood industry in a nutshell. So listen to this. The 2016 version, those fans declared, ruined their childhood, but Ghostbusters Afterlife does something worse. It traps those fans within their arrested childhoods, giving them everything they want and nothing they didn't expect. So basically, you're saying to give your customers, the people who give you fucking money, giving them what they want is the problem. And giving them what they expect is the problem. Now, why would you say that? Because you have contempt for your fucking audience.
Oh! Here's one even
which
worse.
Is the crux of the 2016 Ghostbusters.
Read Brandon Zachary's, which comes from the CBR.
Read it. Well, the CBR is, oh God, their SJW is shit. Comic book resources. Oh my God, you got to read it. I don't know what the fuck it is.
A litany of unnecessary fan service and a bloated plot that hindered otherwise a fun adventure story that dives into the Ghostbusters legacy.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, giving people things that reinforce this IP, which is all they came to see anyway. Oh, no, that's a problem.
Oh my God. And here's the last one.
Loaded fan service.
Here's the last one I saw here.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking from Sean Edwards from Fox 4 Kansas City.
Oh, Jesus.
Whether it's a reboot or a continuation, did we need another Ghostbusters movie?
Oh, now
No.
Another Ghostbusters movie is a problem. Not when it was 2016. No, we needed a Ghostbusters movie then. But once that movie bent its dick around and fucked its own ass, do we really need another Ghostbusters movie?
Well,
Fuck
apparently
you.
you hit the link and it takes you to his actual review.
Well, I don't see that shit.
Yeah. Neither do I, but still.
All right, so there we go. We got our score. We'll hit the people with the information, right?
Yeah. Don't forget to visit us on our website, G2TA.net and GodTalkAbout.com, and don't forget to subscribe. Ooh. Man, we got to do a Christmas movie, man.
Do we?
Yeah, we got to do one.
All right, yeah.
We'll do one next week.
Okay, all right. Find one. We'll do a Christmas one.
Yeah. I saw one with the Doogie Howser MD on there.
Is it about them fucking dudes?
No.
Is it about them pretending to be straight?
Well, possibly, but they don't show his partner. They don't show his partner. They only show,
Nice. All right.
him by himself.
All right. Show me a trailer when we're done.
All right, cool.